Mr. Bustle, don't smoke a cigarette on live. You wouldn't be able to do that in court. Go ahead and take that cigarette out your mouth, brother, if you're going to be on court. Or we'll just remove you and you got to come back. Man, y'all really lose your mind, man. Y'all make somebody like me who's normally calm I don't understand. But hey, your actions reflect how you think. Mr. Gray, unmute.
Yep. Okay. Go!
Will you hand me my scream box?
Now go. All right, Mr. Kaba, is this a written or oral lease?
A written lease.
Okay, when was that? When did you guys first enter into it?
It was entered on October 26th is the date on it. The term of the lease was from November 1st, 2024, going forward for 1 year.
Okay. All right, how much is monthly rent?
$12.95.
Is there a late fee?
Yes, sir. 10%, which is $129.50.
When's the last time the tenant paid rent?
We've got a December partial payment. December balance is $445 outstanding.
Okay, and so you've got $445, and you got January, February, March, and then now if I were to give you writ of possession, 22 days in April. So
Correct.
3 months plus 22 days.
Yes, sir.
And plus that 445. All right. And then
The late fee for January, February, and March.
I don't. All right, Ms. James, tell me. I understand you indicated that there was some. You filed your answer here. Tell me, is rent $12.95?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is the late payment $129.50 that you know of?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not looking at the lease, but that's what he says. Yes.
Okay. So tell me about when's the last time you made a payment?
Well, I gave him the payment. The last payment, like he said, was partial payment, but I just moved there. Nothing. I haven't even been able to use my bathroom. It's been leaking in both bathrooms since I moved there. And
Okay.
and I'm talking about the windows. I had $500 excessive $400 electric bills 2 months because all of the windows are broken, and it was
Okay.
just like
Okay.
20 degrees I ended up.
Okay. So the windows are broken. So when you tell me the windows are broken, like there's a hole in them. There's no
No,
window.
you know when you slide, when you try to slide it up, the whole window drop down. So the whole top is like it's open with no screen.
Okay. And how long has it been like that?
It was like that when I moved there, and when I told him, he didn't respond to me until I didn't pay him the rent because I never was able to get comfortable. I didn't have lights. The whole thing blew on Thanksgiving. I had my family over there on Thanksgiving. I just got a table in there, and then the lights went out. The whole
Yep.
living room, all this whole
Do you
living
know
room, the
why the
lights went
lights
out. He
went
never
out?
addressed it. He sent somebody over there the next day. I mean, well, not the next day. Well, the next day, yeah, Friday. He did send someone over there to fix it, but the whole Thanksgiving,
I got
it's
it.
like,
Well, I
it just
mean
was.
that
I
I don't
never
know if
was
that was
able
an
to.
intentional act by him, obviously, but my main concern then is the window. Tell me, Mr. Kaba, tell me about the what window?
So
All of them. Sorry.
basically, windows were hard to open and close because these are old windows and probably the paint issue. So I sent the guy out and he fixed it. And she claims that it is not fixed. Now, I sent the person went over there, he billed me, I paid him, all that 9 yard happened. And she is claiming that that is not true and it hasn't happened. Well, if it did not happen, why she never called back or put the work order in the system?
Well, when was the work completed?
Work was completed in December.
Okay. And so there was an issue, but you're saying it was resolved. Okay. So, Ms. James, when did the window get resolved, if at all?
They never got resolved. We never even. He and I told him about the windows in a text. So that's so untrue. That guy came in. He painted the tubs because the tubs were filthy, and he said he was gonna fix the floors. When I moved in there, I didn't
Well,
realize.
hold on. Let me focus on the window.
Okay, the window, every
The win
window, not just one window, sir.
went all your windows are down.
Yes, all of them are. They
Tell
need
me
to
I'm
be
down right. Are you
replaced.
home?
I'm not home now. I'm at the airport. I couldn't leave out of the airport until I finished this call with you
Okay.
guys.
I understand. He's saying that the windows aren't broken anymore, and you're saying all your win. So
Yes.
how you secure the spot with all the windows?
I put nails in there to try to hold it up, and then I taped around it.
Okay, so they're not down. They were down, but they're not down anymore.
Right, they not down, but it's still they still it's not sealed. They still it's cold in there. I'm talking about I have to sleep with 5 covers and
I
all of the
got it. I
heaters.
got it. I got it. But you're saying there's a draft with the windows the way you got it.
Every window, the one in the living room,
And you
the
said,
spare
what did you
room,
say
and
about what did you say about the bathroom? You say they leak.
they've been leaking since I moved there. He knew that, and he you know what he told me to call. He told me I need to call code enforcement. Why did I need to do that? I rented the place from him,
That's
and it's been
true.
like that since December.
So tell me though, when's the last time you paid though?
I paid him. I paid him. I gave him $3,500 up front, like
Not
the
that's
2 months,
not what I'm
whatever. And then
asking.
no, no,
Listen, when is the
I'm
last time you
sorry.
paid?
I paid him like he said. I paid him that price. I gave him 800 of that, which I still was not able to, live in there with the water leaking everywhere. You sit
When you
on the
say the
toilet,
water
it's water
leak,
is dripping on me.
okay. So do you not use the restroom there anymore?
I couldn't use the bathroom in my bedroom, the master bath. I never took a shower in there because it always was leaking. I got a bucket in there now.
No. Okay, so let me, Mr. Kaba, do you know about the leak issues that are
Mister,
happening in the
let me
bathroom?
explain you what the situation is. These are condos. So upstairs condo we don't own. We own the downstairs where she is living. So there is some kind of a leak that comes when somebody takes a shower upstairs. What I have been trying for last 3 months to go in to open up the ceiling so that we can find out the actual problem and get it fixed, whether it is fixed by us or the owner upstairs. The problem is she does not allow us to get in. I have been to that place at least 3, 4 times. I've knocked at the door. I've asked her to open, no answers. I've texted her. I have called her, no answer. Mr. Terrell, who is the code enforcement officer, he has been there twice to go in. And the reason I asked the code enforcement to come is so that he can see it and he can ticket the upstairs person to fix his bathroom. So that is not happening. If I cannot get into the apartment, I cannot fix anything. And she has a huge 80-pound dog, which she claims that it's an emotional dog, which she has never provided me the proof of it. And we cannot get in whether she's there or not because of the existence of the dog. So we
Okay.
are not able to get things done. If she would allow us to do it, we will go and
Uh,
get it fixed. It would be a minor fix.
So listen. Obviously, and I just want to be clear, Miss James, you haven't paid rent sometimes, so there's going to be a writ. It's just about what's the offset because we got the window issue, but it seems as if you've been able to rig it, but it still isn't perfect. But more importantly, there's a leak that's just been ongoing that can't be resolved or hasn't been resolved because of what's going on. I think that's problematic because that will make somebody's water bill go up. That will make it uncomfortable and not have the full enjoyment of the property. And over that span of time that she's there, at least of these 4 months that we're really talking about, she's been dealing with that. So what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to give consideration of that because that's ultimately a bathroom that can't be used and it's completely, and also you can't comfortably use those rooms. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the numbers here. So that total judgment then is what that's total judgment's going to end up being. Bear with me here. That's going to be $4,718.16. That's consideration that we give about a couple $100 for every month that the water issue, because that just includes the inconvenience and also any increase in water. So that money judgment is going to ultimately be $4,718.16. The
which
writ will
I'm sorry, cut you off. Go ahead.
no. The writ will be on 4/22/2025 at 11:59 p.m. Okay.
Can I say something, Judge?
Yes, ma'am.
He agreed to let me out the lease, and we both part ways. But then, he's saying all this stuff he's saying is so not true. Me and him never talked about nothing. He didn't want to talk
But
about money.
I hear, but I give you consideration for those things in spite of that. So tell me what else you're concerned about.
The electric bill, I paid over $1,000 in 2 months in an apartment.
And that's why I'm
I
giving
had
you
a
credit I'm giving you credit in totality of 950 over the span of the time and associated with that.
yeah, but he agreed. He agreed that we both can part ways.
I don't
And
have an
do it.
agreement. I don't have an agreement. I have that you now
I
place
have it
it.
in a text message where he said it. He
I
said what
know,
he's saying is not true. I have it
but
when he
that's not what you're
texts.
doing now. That's not what you're doing now. And if y'all couldn't reach an agreement in mediation, this is where we are. I mean, you got to tell me something different.
It's everything is wrong in that apartment. I'm talking about you. Both bathrooms are messed up, not just one.
Yeah, but
One
the
of them
problem.
is
So,
really leaking bad. The other one is
Miss
the other
Jane,
one.
Miss
I'm sorry.
Jane, let's just be honest. It's not uninhabitable. I'm not an unreasonable man. If it's uninhabitable, I'm gonna say it's uninhabitable. But if it's habitable, you live in there, you taking showers there. That's a habitable spot. You haven't paid in a couple of months. I get it. It's not ideal, but it's a habitable spot. You're gonna owe some money. And if you haven't paid any money and it's an offset, then there's gonna be a writ. I'm not trying to be unreasonable, but that's what it's gonna be. We've
Right.
given you consideration.
I gave him a security deposit as well too. So
The order. You go. I'm gonna let Mr. Kaba go. Y'all are free to
okay.
go. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. No worries. Thank you. Let's get both Lions up here. All right. Let's start with Astra Lions. Miss Lyons, is this somebody you're related to? Y'all just
Yes,
happen to have the same spelling. How you related?
this is my sister.
That's your youngest sister.
Yes.
Y'all listen. This is great, but not great. So tell me. I see here on the complaint you say that she owes 1,800. Do you guys have a lease?
We do not have a signed lease.
Well, hold on. I can talk to one line at a time. So Ms.
We
Lyons
we
don't
came
have
into
a lease. Okay.
no. We when we first communicated with each other, we had a verbal agreement originally, where I stated that all she had to pay was a cable bill, which was roughly around 200, 250 a month, because she was only staying for 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But to
And
answer
when
your
was it?
question,
And when was this? When did this first start?
this was when she first moved in July
Of last year.
Yes, of last year. This is when she first moved in July.
Yep.
As time on, the agreement was 3 months. It has been 10 months now. So as time went on and bills accumulated, when we had discussions, I basically let her know, this is moving forward. This is how we're gonna coexist. I need you to pay more. She actually have 7 people in my house. I have a cat, a dog, 2 adult children, 3 teenagers, and her baby father stays.
That's a lot of folk. That's a lot of folk.
Right. And they moved in July, and all the adults in the house lost their job a month later. Like right before August, everybody lost their job.
It sounds like a Tyler Perry movie, honestly. This is what it sounds like. I'm not even playing, but I'm playing, but it just sounds bad. It sounds bad. So listen, is there any monthly rent set?
It is set right now. It's $250 for my.
Hold on, younger lions. Let me hear from older lions. Tell me, what's the monthly amount?
I sent her a text message. I said, for here on out, you will pay me $500 a month. You will pay your half of every utility. Because before I limited it because I'm trying to help her save so she can move out my house.
Do you live there too? I take it this is not a house you live in.
This is my house that this is a mortgage that I'm paying on this house.
Yeah, but I can tell you're not living in this house.
Oh, I am.
You living in this house too?
Yes.
Gee.
It's
do
chaotic.
You have any children that live in there?
I have no children. None.
Sister. Okay. All right. And when did you give her this text about the $500?
I gave her this text. 1 second. I'm bringing it up now. Originally, we had a family sit down, and then I decided, hey, I'm just going to, because she kept saying, I want something, I need something in writing. So let me text.
I got it. Yeah, okay. Tell me when.
And the text was on the, I'm getting to it. It's a lot of information in here. Text was sent to her on the on the 20th of December.
20th of December.
And I said for January, moving forward in January, since you're still here, you haven't left yet, because I've told her several times I want her to leave.
Tell me what
the text says. So I said these beers are getting ridiculously high, so we are going to have to work together to reduce them. I've already paid $200 on a water, light, and gas bill. You and Kevin are responsible for making sure the remainder of $201 get paid to reduce all unnecessary and those unnecessary plugs in the wall in your room needs to be unplugged. Basically letting her know I don't leave my TVs, certain things plugged up that's not.
I got it.
Bring up the light bill.
Tell me about the 500. Where it says 500.
It's a long text.
Tell me where it
chargeable,
goes to 500.
Going down. I'm basically telling her that, so starting in January, I need $500 per month or $250 twice a week. You and Kevin should be splitting the cost of bills.
Okay.
HOA fees are $750 a year. Y'all have
Ms. Lyons. Okay. Pause. Okay. Has she paid you since then?
The only thing she's giving me, when September came, she decided that she wanted to double up on a bill that was already accumulated.
Wait.
Yes.
September is before January. Let's talk about January 4. I don't care about that because you didn't send her a text. And even then, I'm a little iffy on the text, but let's just say everybody's fine with that. What has she paid since that time, if anything?
Now, we had a conversation several times before the text, and I just decided
okay.
Go ahead and send her.
And I'm going to tell you why I think
she keep acting like she don't that I sent her this information. So January came.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
I'm sorry, Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so January. She sent me $250 on Cash App. That was it. Okay. February, $300, and then $100 towards the light bill, the gas bill. That's what it said. And she spent in March $200, and at the end of March sent me $5 to cover her April bill and also the loan that I gave her in September for her storage.
Okay. And she sent you money in March as well.
Yes, but from September, October, November, and December, I did not get rent.
Okay, well, let's not talk about that because that really may not be relevant. You didn't even really put it in writing exactly what you wanted. And I don't know if even the text will suffice, but let's say, for instance, it does. All right, let's look going forward from there. She's giving you some money, and the last time you've gotten some money from her is when? What date?
The last time was on the 20th of March.
20th of March. Did you send her a demand of possession?
On the 28th.
28th. You sent her a demand of possession on the 20th. Hold on. Miss Lyons, did you send her a demand of possession? Astra Lyons, older sister Lyons.
Yes.
Okay, and when did you do that?
I filed it in demand of possession. You're talking about the warrant, right?
Well, no. That's why I give all this information up front, because what I'm going to explain to you so you guys know why I'm doing what I'm doing so that you can get it right. First things first, you don't have an agreement with somebody and it's oral, that's fine. But let me stop. Miss Lyons, do you acknowledge that you got a text from your sister indicating that she wants you to pay $500 a month for rent going forward?
So I do. So like she said, it's a lot. She did verbally sit down with me and my partner and send her million text message about us starting to having to pay her $500 a month, $250 from him, $250 from me.
That's not what
and half on the light bill. Was no other utilities included.
Okay.
And with that also, I was giving her when I got my food stamps, I would give her.
Break her off. I get it. Listen.
And so,
listen.
but March, I didn't give her
This is what the text message say, Judge.
I can't read it from that screen, so just hold tight. Miss Lyons, Young Alliance, please continue.
So she let me know my food stamps don't pay any bills, and I still am required to do as she said. So
we do feed you though.
My partner lost his job.
Okay.
And then she said that it's $250 from me, $250 for him. I paid her in February. I paid her $300 in February, and I paid her $300 in March. Those are my rent. And then March 20th, she sent me a text message saying, pay me the $500 or else y'all gonna have to go. So March 20th, I sent her the $500, and she let me know that it is from the loan that she gave me.
That was in response to this letter. So you got a text from her, pay me $500.
Or else. Y'all got to go.
You gave her $500.
Gave her $500 March 20th, got served for the warrant.
Ms. Lyons, did you get $500 from her on the 20th?
Yes, Your Honor, but we got to go back. Me and her actually.
No, we don't have to go back. We don't have to take
a physical altercation. We got into a fight in my house. She attacked me in my house.
Listen.
I called the police and I filed a police report.
Ms. Lyons, do you have a TPO?
No. A TPO? No, I don't. This happened when she first moved in.
I know, but you talking about stuff 6+ months ago. I'm talking about since January, since you sent her a text.
I'm talking about I filed this claim on a fact that she hadn't paid bills, she hadn't paid rent. I had to take out a loan, at least $5,000 to pay my bills because the only thing she's going to pay is that little bit amount for 7 people being in my house.
So Ms. Lyons, I'm not sure. So let me tell you what I'm going to do.
I've had to take out a loan.
Ms. Lyons,
my lights have been shut off and turned back on. Exit
for me.
Yes.
Ms. Lyons. Let me tell you first, I understand. Let me tell you, I appreciate you trying to make sure your sister's not on the street. I appreciate that. And I'm not even part of your family. But what I'm expressing to you is I'm not a part of your family. Therefore, all of the other stuff is not relevant to me. I want to know what I can do to justify making a decision that's according to the law. The issue is...
I understand it.
No. I don't want to hear all that. I want to tell you what the law has to say. The law has to say that, one, when you accept money, particularly, where'd she go? She disappeared because she didn't want to hear what the law had to say. Let's hold tight and see what happens. We'll see if she comes back on. All right? Let me look at position 15 while we wait and see if she comes back on. Is that Miss Lyons?
Yes, my device went out.
No worries. Can you turn your camera on and unmute? Turn your camera on for me, rather. All right, we're back. So listen. All I wanted to say to you is this: when you sent the demand to her, she paid you the money that you demanded. That's problematic because you cannot then subsequently file an action against her. That alone will get the case dismissed. I understand when you're with family, you want to be cool and we want to try to make things as less stressful as possible. I understand that. I'm not admonishing you for that. I know most people don't want to have to put a contract on their brother or sister to be able to confirm because they don't want to have to do all that. You don't want to evict your sister. That was never your intent for even putting her in your house. But what I'm expressing to you is when you come to the court, unless you're going to reach an agreement, I have to rule on the law is despite the way that the family situations may look, despite the fact that it may not seem fair. You understand? So
okay, I do have a question though.
Hold on. So I'm just going to give you some law. If you want to have a contract with your sister, it can be oral. But if you want to, and if you don't, you're going to make sure that you follow the law to make sure that you get her out. Nobody's trying to make this a villain. But if you're going to use the law to get someone out, it doesn't care that that's your sister. It doesn't care that it would be anybody. I've had mothers evict daughters and vice versa. It don't matter. So, but you got to follow the law. That means if you're going to want her out, you got to give her an appropriate demand of possession. If you want to breach the contract and say you want to cancel the lease, you got to give her appropriate notice. But I do it by the law. If that's it. If it's a situation of violence that's occurring, call the police. If somebody gets arrested, that's a different scenario. But we don't have that present, and I don't want that to be present. But if you're going to use the court You got to follow the law. All right. Feel free, Miss Lyons, Miss Astor Lyons.
The
Go ahead.
point is, I want her out my house. She refused to leave. She
Nope.
have caused chaos in my house. She have ran up
So
my
don't
bills.
take. So
Now it's gotten to the point where my livelihood is at stake. I'm actually paying. I'm depleting my bank account.
I get it.
My
I don't
bills
want you to
are
do that. Get it.
And in order for me to keep my job, my credit has to be in good standing. She's jeopardizing my livelihood.
I understand. So
I don't want an agreement with her. I want her, like, I'm fine with her staying until April because she's paid her bills, but she paid her month for the month of April. But I want her out of my house.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm going to give you one last consideration. If you guys want to reach an agreement, there's a mediator right here. Y'all can talk about it.
I don't want to agree. I want her out my house.
Well, then let me tell you something. You're not going to get her out today because you don't have an agreement because you didn't do what the law required. I can suggest to you that you could have a conversation because
we've had conversations. It's my house. It's my house. It's my bills that I'm paying. It's my bank account that I'm depleting. It's my livelihood that is at stake. Because when she leaves, she gonna go on about her business and not gonna worry about me.
So Miss Lyons, I think that you don't understand because I'm not your attorney, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on, and you don't understand the impact overall of what you're.
With the eviction process, that's the whole purpose.
But it'll be dismissed
because
you didn't follow. You didn't follow the law. Miss Lyons.
I filed for past due rent. She did not pay me.
The case will be dismissed. You can figure it out on your own since you don't want to listen because your emotions are into it. I'm trying to guide. I'm not even trying to guide you. I'm trying to tell you what the law is so that you know what to do so you won't have to come back.
But the law says she can tell me she can stay in my house and not pay me anything.
The law says if you don't get it right and do the appropriate process, you'll get the case dismissed. Doesn't mean that you can't come back and redo it, but today it'll be dismissed.
But if she got her note, if I sent her an email and text message, this is what I expect moving forward. Now I'm at the process.
Miss Lyons, you're now wasting my time because I've already told you why I'm doing what I'm doing. I've gone through a long process to make sure that you understand, but you can't hear me because you expect an outcome despite not knowing and following the law. So now I have no more. I have no more patience for you because you don't want to listen to me. So I'm going to let you go, and you can refile and follow the appropriate law. I've tried to make sure that you understood why the court does.
What is the appropriate law when I have already sent it in writing? What else do I have to do, Judge? Because it's not making sense.
You accepted money after you demanded. She gave you exactly what you demanded. So I'll let you be gone, and you can refile when you understand the law and follow it appropriately. Miss Lyons, younger sister Lyons, you're free to go. Older sister Lyons, you're free to go as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
When you look back at this, you'll realize that you didn't listen.
She assaulted me in my house. I have it on record.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Kendall and Miss Leon, go ahead and unmute for me and turn on your camera. Leon.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
Yep, turn on your camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to press here, you on but somehow I don't know why it's not clicking here. I'm trying to my pictures on the top here, trying to click and what would I have to do? The ghost has a video. Okay. Okay.
Hey, there you go. You guys both raise your right hand for me.
Yes.
I'm going to start with Miss Leon. Give me 1 second, and we'll get to you, Mr. Kendall. Miss Leon, tell me, do you have a written oral lease with Mr. Kendall?
Yeah. Do you need me to speak up? Do you need to speak up, sir?
No, I hear you. Do you have a written or oral lease with Mr. Kendall?
Yeah. Yes, I have a lease with him.
Do you know when it was entered into? What month and year?
Sure. I don't remember.
You don't remember? Was it 2024, 2023, 2025?
Yeah, 2024.
Okay. Was it in writing or was it oral?
The writing.
It was in writing. Okay. How much is monthly rent?
$700.
Okay. All right. Is there a late fee?
Yes, I do.
Your late fee?
10%.
Okay, $70. When's the last time Mr. Kendall paid you or some source paid you on his behalf?
Okay, over here say he's a text me here. March 13. I have a text message. March 13. March. I told her I gave her notice to move in January, February. I'm not going to accept the rent. So I was not home. He came trying to pay much rent. I said, I'm not going to accept anymore. I give you 2 months notice already. It's been going through too much drama here. So, and he paid me anyway, put him through jail. I said, I'm going to give a notice. I want to move. So he wouldn't listening. This is a business. So I give a notice on his door. And then I said, I'm going to file eviction on the 7 days, please. Either way you go, gotta go, please go. So he ignored, he didn't go. So then on the 7 days passed, and I went to courthouse to file eviction. And then, I said, do not depart anymore. You know, I'm not going to work with you no more, I'm done. And then, he texted me, okay, I'll owe you March rent $450. And then, so he deposited on my jail $200. So March month is $250 he owed us.
Okay, so let me just get this right. When did he give you this $200 in March?
Yes.
When?
Oh, there's a March 13. He deposited my no, March not before that. I think March 3rd. I don't remember, sir. March.
Sometime in March. Tell me
March
why.
3rd or 5th, so he paid, yes.
Okay, so tell me why you're demanding in your complaint, you're looking only for $550. Why is that? When is the last? So did he?
Oh yeah, he texted me, I'll owe you. I couldn't keep up with him because he owed me. He told me I paid $200. March month is $700. He said I paid $200, and then I owe you $500. So I thought $500 owed. Now I did it. I received a text message. He said, "Oh, $450. Then when did you
So
pay?"
he paid rent for January and February then.
He just making numbers, everything. I don't know how much he paid. I'm very sick. I cannot catch up with him.
But I'm gonna be honest, Missy Leon, you're the landlord. You're the making this claim. Burdens on you to know exactly what you're looking for and what you've been paid now.
Yeah, I'm just very. I'm
Can't
just.
be bad in money and you collecting money. That's bad for business.
Yeah, I'm just very nervous. So at this time, my
Okay.
sickness.
Well, don't worry, but I'm gonna let you think about it. I'm gonna talk to Mr. Kendall, and you think about it while I talk to Mr. Kendall. Mr. Kendall, tell me, do you have a lease with Miss Leon for $700?
Yes, sir. Originally, the lease I did sign a lease for $700 a month. She didn't tell you, she didn't tell you though. I was her yard man. I did 3 of her properties over the summer, including where I stayed at. Where she took out $50 for each yard. I got to the point where she wanted it. Okay, the yard need to be cut twice a week. She got to the point where she baited me in. Then she started waiting to like a whole like 3 weeks to a month, and when it's supposed to be a 2 service, she wanted me to like cut it for $50. She waited to it grow up a whole month. I do owe her the balance of what she didn't tell you was the month before that I had paid into April. That's why she's getting confused. I had paid up on my rent. So when I went, because I try to pay up if something happened to me, if I get sick, I can have some leeway to fall back on. I did owe her $200 that went into that month in a sense. And let me explain that. That month I started my own small company. I contract for myself. I drive trucks, a 26 footer, and I be out.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time you gave her any money?
Was the month of April. And that was the month I fractured.
Well, this is the month of April. So April what?
I mean, not April. I apologize. It was for March.
Okay, when and how much?
I owed it $400 for March, and I zelled her $200 because I had paid into my rent the previous month. Like I paid extra on my rent. So when I went into March, I gave her 200 and I only owed her 200. And
Did she send you a letter telling you that she wanted you to pay this money before she filed this action against you?
she kind of set me up for failure because of the fact that she told me not to pay her the money, and I have the text that she told me not to pay her the 200. So I'm thinking that she's gonna have me mow her properties to offset that because it was time to mow her yard. The grass was like
Okay, when did she tell you not to pay?
uh, it was before she filed the eviction notice about
Did she
4 or 5 days.
Okay, so this was in March. She told you not to pay.
Yes, sir. And her husband was like, they was giving me mixed emotions. I told her that I do plan on moving.
Well, one other thing. Did she give you a letter? Okay, I don't know what that looks
That's
like.
the refrigerator that spoiled my food.
Okay, hold
That's
on,
for the
hold
whole
on.
year. Okay.
Okay, hold tight.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, did she give you a letter like in January or February saying, "Hey, I don't want to rent to you no more. You got 60 days to
If
go"?
she did, I didn't receive it.
You didn't receive.
If she did, the warrant is the only thing that I received from the sheriff.
Okay, did she ever? Okay, Ms. Leon,
Listen, sir, Your Honor, please, can I just say this one thing? She didn't start telling me that she wanted me to move. It was when I started asking her. I had been buying road spray. I got receipts. When I started challenging her about fixing the appliance, when I first moved there, the refrigerator was bad. It make your food spoil. I have pictures and everything. She kept telling me she was gonna fix it. So after a year, at least pay me for my road spray because she owed me for a year back and I have receipts. She felt challenged. That's when she started telling me, "Well, you need a move if you don't like it. You need."
Okay. Well, hold tight. I got that.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Ms. Leon, I do see on the complaint you identified that he's violating the lease for like guns and drugs. Do you have any evidence of that? I didn't see any exhibits.
Yes, I do.
Where are they?
I have 3 different people evidence.
Okay, witnesses. Are these people here today?
Oh no, Your Honor. I have names Ruferman. He's a roommate of the Mr. George.
And that's fine. But if they're not here, it won't be relevant for me to hear from them this today. I guess I'm asking you this. You did accept some rent in March, and so when did you send him a demand of possession?
Okay, I did text him. I want to give a notice. I want the moving out notice January, February. I was going to give a 2 months notice good enough. I want to find the place. I didn't physically send it to the paper, but
go ahead.
But I did text him. In the February, I said I want to give it 2 months, give a notice. This hopefully enough time you can find some place. And then
when you give him a demand of possession, though, not a 60-day notice, demand of possession.
And then in the March month, and he came to my place. He want to pay. I said I'm not going to accept anymore.
And why was that? Because you believe you gave him a 60-day notice?
Oh yes, I told her
in a text. I see.
Yeah, March month, please find the girl. But I think the third, fifth, he pay. He came by trying to pay the cash to my hand, but I was not available. I said, Candy, I told you already, I'm not going to accept it. Please find the place to move. And then he deposited the jail $200 anyway.
Did you give the money back to him?
I put into my jail. So I say, I'm going to please find your place to move on. Now you got the job, everything, move it. And then
Miss Leon, you haven't yet told me when you sent the demand. This is what we're gonna do. Miss Leon, I know you've been here many times. I know you because you've had many tenants. And so I know you know what to do. Right? I know you know what to do. Telling me a lot of backstory when I know that you know exactly what needs to be said or not said. I'm not taking. So look, the case will be dismissed because you did demand possession and you took money in the same month. And I don't have any you cannot send a 60-day notice by text message. That don't work.
Hello, Your Honor. I didn't accept. I told her, do not. I was not home. I said, no. Then he texted me, and then no, I didn't accept it, sir. After I fired the eviction.
No. I know you saying you didn't.
I didn't accept it, sir.
I know. But
I didn't accept it. I know how that works. I didn't accept it.
I know you didn't accept any money afterwards.
I did fire on the what day I fired on it.
I understand.
In the March, but he deposited in the March and the 3rd or 5th.
But you still gotta demand possession. If all of that goes into it, you don't demand.
I didn't accept it after I fired the after I give a notice. I didn't accept any money. I know how that works. I didn't accept any money.
What no? So hold on, one last thing. When did you give him the notice?
I give a notice. I have to find it.
Tell me when you gave him the notice.
I give a notice on the 9th. After that, I didn't receive any money from him.
9th of what?
March.
Okay, and when did you give him? When did he give you the $200?
There was a March 4th, March 3rd, or March 5th. He deposited on my bank. I told him, do not deposit. Then he told me.
Let me ask you, Kendall, when did you give her that money in March?
March 3rd or 5th.
My rent is due on the 3rd, right? So I tried to attempt. I gave her one payment, and I was in the balance of $200. Remember, I told her.
Y'all like, why do y'all do that? I asked you, when did you give her the money? Just tell me the date.
It was around March the 3rd or 4th,
okay.
something like that.
Miss Leon, when did you give him a demand of possession, telling him that you ain't give me enough money?
On the 9th.
On the 9th. Yes. Mr. Kendall, did she give you a letter on the 9th saying?
No, sir. I don't recall getting.
Yeah. I have here. I give you put under your door already. That's someone we called it.
This what I got right here.
Yeah.
This is the county court.
Yeah, what about, did you give him anything before the county court, Miss Leon?
Yes, I did. Let me I can find it. Can I find this? I'd
like to look at it.
Let me find it here.
It's your last case.
Can you find it here? I have here.
Can I say something briefly?
Sure.
Another thing, I really should be suing her for defamation of character. I'm in school. I'm in college. And then I never be at the house hardly. She's trying to say, like, she's trying to manipulate you to make you think that I'm a violent and bad person, which I'm not. She
can't manipulate me. I go by the facts.
Excuse me, somebody broke in my somebody went in my room twice when I was out of town. The door was unlocked and she was the only one who had the key.
Oh my God.
I never accused her of going in my room.
Miss Leon, did you find that letter?
Yes. I'm looking for here. Please.
So that's not a yes. That's a no.
Let me keep on finding here, please. I have here.
How did you send it to him?
I did deliver it by my hand.
You delivered it by hand?
Yes, I have here. March 12th.
March 12th?
Yes.
Okay, what's it say?
Okay, over here saying
how'd you send it to him?
Okay.
You said, okay, by hand. I'm sorry. You said you gave it to him by hand.
He was not home. I just put down there. I took a picture and then okay, over here say
I don't know what she done. She just.
Did you get that? Did you get a demand? What did the
demand say, Miss
Leon? What's it say?
I wasn't there.
Hold on. What it say, Miss Leon? Because you said you gave it to him in his hand.
Oh, that's not it.
That's not it. Well, if you said you found the date, but then you're now saying it's not it, that don't make no sense.
No. I have too many. I'm sorry.
All right. So listen. I've given you a good amount of time to find what you say you sent, particularly because you've admitted that you've taken some money in the month and it's less than the full amount. And you've argued that there's a different reason why you're trying to get him evicted, which I don't have any evidence supporting otherwise. And the witnesses that you say are essential are not here. So I've given you some time. I'm going to dismiss. Hopefully you guys can resolve. If not, I'll see you guys back. Okay,
no,
but I'm going to dismiss the case, Miss Leon, because you haven't given me anything and I've waited quite a bit of time. So that's going to be the order of the court.
I did the file on the 9th, sir. Your Honor, I filed on 9th.
It's not about when you filed. It's about when you noticed because you've taken money from him in the same month.
No, I didn't take money.
But you
took the
never.
money, Your Honor.
I'm not.
I
Gonna
know how
rehash
it works. I didn't took the money.
I know.
He I didn't took the money after I filed the eviction. I
I'm
didn't.
not. That's not what I'm saying. And
It's
you
a
know,
judge, man. Please
I'm
don't.
gonna let you guys go. The case is dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You guys back
Thank
in
you.
court if need be.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your morning. The
Yes, sir.
rest
I got to
of it.
go back to work. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Miss Leong. I'll see you. Sure, I'm back.
I'm not appreciated, Your Honor. I'm not appreciated. I didn't
Please don't
accept
break
the.
in my
I
room,
know.
Miss
It's
Lee.
I didn't
okay.
accept the. You liar. You liar.
You
I
guys
didn't
get it
accept.
figured out, or you come back to me. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
Your
believe
Honor.
that's all the cases.
Your Honor, Ms. Elsmeyer is writing,
Oh, we have one more. We have one more.
writing a consent.
Okay, they're still drafting it.
Yeah. Okay?
Okay, well, we'll hold and wait for it.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
You have got to be kidding me. What is going on today? This is a joke. Today is an absolute. You need an interpreter.
I need an interpreter when I cannot express myself
Oh my God, sir, put that cigarette out. I don't give a crap that you are outside of this. What is wrong with everybody today? You know what, Miss Reed, we're going to start bringing people in first. People going to learn how to act in a courtroom.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ma'am? Ma'am? Can you hear it? Okay.
Come and go so fast. I'm sitting up here, I'm the one that needs a drink.